Don't give up.
Any short-sighted spy in the field can provide you with images. Only the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams provide tactical reconnaissance, high-resolution photos and videos paired with detailed intel of where game is most active. Built for simplicity, just turn on your Edge 2 cell cam and it will auto-connect to one of the 4 major cellular networks, while our easy-to-use app arms you with game plan, so you can determine where and when to hunt. Don't just capture images, gather intelligence.
Live imaging shows you what's below in real time with edge-to-edge clarity and no gaps in coverage, all so you can turn must-watch detail into non-stop action. Only from Humminbird.
You're here for the hook set and nothing else. Because the battle between you and the bass should always be front and center. And now that the best trolling motors ever made are even better, we'll lead the charge. So you can focus on getting them to bite whenever and wherever the fight takes you. With Minn Kota, you're free to fish on any front.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
We're all sick of those deep-voiced industry buzzwords. Let's actually talk about something fun. Swim baits. The issue is it's intimidating for most anglers to gain confidence in throwing something this big. At Clutch Swim Bait Company, our social media posts, our videos, and our website is all dedicated to helping you, the angler, gain confidence in throwing these big baits. Beginner to advanced, we provide you the products and resources to help you catch more game-changing fish. If you'd like to take your swim bait fishing to the next level, check us out on social media or at clutchswimbaitco.com.
Each Camus boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. Camus stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a Camus boat is about more than fishing. Camus boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities in 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now, with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
You're watching a B.A.S.S. presentation.
All right, we are back, and our live coverage continues from the state of Alabama, the St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Martin, presented by 7. And there is Lake Martin right there. East Central Alabama, all 44,000 acres of it on the Tallapoosa River. And we are into the last couple of hours of coverage we have for you of day 1 of this 9th stop of 9 events in 2024 for the Bassmaster Opens. We've got a lot of stories working for you here today, and there's a look at the leaderboard. Dakota E-Bear has been at the top of that board for a long time, ever since he landed the big fish of the day. 2 pounds and 3/4 ounces. No, 3 pounds and 3/4 ounces. Cody Meyer standing in there in second place. Dalton Smith, Joey Nania, another Alabaman. Austin Cranford, Tristan McCormick, and Alan Armour. Daryl Gleason, Andrew Harp, and Avery Williams have joined the top 10 since we paused our coverage about an hour ago. So we are ready to get back out on the water, but why don't we get you up to date with our Bassmaster Midday Report, show you what we have seen this morning, and we'll start with Canada's Evan Kung.
Tommy, Evan was one of those guys that was not at the bottom of the EQ list in terms of qualifying. He was in there safely by a few spots, but still within that 10 to 15 points.
Vulnerable.
Yes, vulnerable. That's a good way to put it. And we knew the way he's fished this year, he's adjusted so well. He's only had a few slip-ups this season that he was going to have a solid finish this week. And this morning, he's got off to a decent start. He's been around some of the striper, and that is sometimes a good sign on spotted bass places. If you're catching spotted bass and striper around, you could luck into one of the bigger spotted bass. So we'll see how Evan's afternoon goes. But a lot of these guys, I have to feel, Tommy, are going to start to make a transition in their game plan.
He was also complaining a little bit about the stripers because they're time wasters when you're out there and you have very little time to spare, especially in the last event of the year. Tucker Smith of Alabama started the day 3rd place in the standing.
Yeah, he was safely in, and Tommy, it's really more so about the classic for him. He just needed to catch a limit or so, get some decent weight on the board for this tournament, and he would be in the Elite Series. But he's came up close. 2 second-place finishes this season. He wants to make that Bassmaster Classic. Heck, he has led the field for the Classic out from the dock 3 or 4 times as a high school and college champion, but never participated in the event. He's looking to do that this week. But right now, I've got a feeling, and even looking at that top 10 leaderboard, that 7 to 8.5 pound range is going to be a log jam. It's not going to be in the top 10. Yep. It's going to be a log jam wherever it falls in the leaderboard.
Got the great Bill Lowen with us here, helping us with the commentary. Bill, do you feel like it's the consensus is 10 pounds a day to make the top 10?
It's definitely sure looking like that.
Yeah.
Like Ronnie said, I think we're going to see that log jam around that 8 pound mark. I clearly see somebody to slip in there maybe this afternoon and bump up over that 10 pound mark, but they're catching a pile of fish. They're just all the same size, and that guys that figure out how to catch that better than average fish are going to be set themselves away from the pack. And this morning it's been awesome to watch the guys that needed to catch them are catching them, and they're doing their job. So it's going to be exciting.
Emil Wagner, one of those guys there, started 4th place, right behind Tucker Smith in points as we started this tournament here on Lake Martin. Should know his way around spotted bass since he works on Lake
100%.
Lanier.
Yeah, and they were all excited. A lot of these anglers, our top 10 was probably one of the best top 10s going into Hartwell for how Hartwell fishes. Lake Martin, not too different. different caliber fish at times, but a lot of these anglers were, hey, I did all of my work this year. Now I get to go to my comfort zone and I get to fish well in this style of fishing, and a lot of them are translating well. We've seen some cranking from Emil Wagner. Something that doesn't get talked about on Spotted Bass Places enough is good cranking bites. Saw a little bit going on with Andrew Loberg as well, and also I think he's mixed in a jig at times too.
Andrew Loberg's made all cuts in all tournaments save one so far this year. He missed it at Santee Cooper, which was a bugaboo for a lot of our points leaders this year. It seemed to be their worst stop.
It's about as far away from his home as you can get in the United States, Tommy, one coast to another, but he has made his move to Guntersville, and that is more centralized for him. And the former college angler from Chico State, just such a well-versed angler. I was very excited to see him fishing all 9 and not surprised to see him in our top 9.
Never surprised to see this guy in a top 9, top 10, top 2, whatever it is. Easton Fothergill has had a phenomenal 18 months of fishing, starting back at the end of his college career, college bracket, making his way to the Classic, doing well there, winning 2 tournaments this year already on the Opens.
Bill Owen, you're a champion on the Elite Series. You fished a bunch of events. Tommy said you're going to fish your 200th event next season. Winning an Open, probably one of the hardest feats you can do. Just field size and the mixture of skill sets. For him to win 2 in a season, that's incredible.
Oh yeah, I mean, that may never ever be done again. You know what I mean? For that to happen is truly an amazing deal. You just with the amount of boats, you know, looking at 200 plus boat fields and the diverse fisheries that we go to. Yeah, my hat's off to him because he's definitely showed out this year.
Here's someone who's done some work since our FS2 coverage paused about an hour ago. Matt Adams was not looking good, not happy. Nothing good about his outlook. He's got to be feeling a lot better now.
Last time we saw him, Tommy, he was idling out of a creek or a cove, very mad. Yes. And I didn't know where he was going, but I wouldn't want to be the fish waiting for him when he arrived. And he's obviously caught a decent kicker to fill his limit, and he has probably culled up since then. Over 9 pounds now, and that is, we said it, he was well below the pack that we expect to form on the leaderboard, and now, Bill, he may be at the top of that pack or just above that pack with 9 pounds and change.
Yeah, and he's been very boisterous all morning about that afternoon bite. It's been better for him during practice, and every day of practice he's been able to see a better than average fish, so maybe that'll continue for him today.
Paul Marks of Georgia has been a numbers guy today, putting a lot of spotted bass into the boat.
Absolutely. He is just like Emil Wagner, calls Lake Lanier home, was very excited. Actually, Lake Hartwell was the first time we ever met Paul Marks. A few years ago, he jumped in that specific Open, was in our coverage. I believe that was maybe 2020 or 2021 on the Opens. Met him and knew that, hey, this guy's going to be good one day, and he has put it together very well this season. He led the EQ points race after 2 events and has been in contention all year long. Only a slip up here and there, but for the most part, Paul has shown his consistency. And now we've seen him in the back of a pocket, out on the main lake. He's really mixed it up, even though he might have kept the same rods in his hand.
Got a 3-pounder to jump into our top 10 when we were on break.
All right, big change there. A 3-pounder is a huge deal here. Cody Meyer. Cody Meyer coming in second in points to start this tournament, and he is not letting up, not one bit. He wants to vie for the title here.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, if he pushes Easton Fothergill tomorrow, when they weigh in today, if both of them are in the top 20, Easton doesn't get nervous. He's pretty quiet but stoic. There may be some nerves if Cody Meyer's in the top 5 and he's in the top 20, knowing I can't fall much farther. And it is very interesting. We put cameras with the top 9 in our points race, Tommy, expecting good things because they've been so good this year. And to see so many of them littered in our top 10, that just goes to show, why don't you just finish the year off the way you started it? And that goes into Dakota Ebert, man. We saw that game-changing bite you talked about. He's added another good one. And we were talking about 10 pounds being good. Why don't we just go ahead and serve up 12 pounds unofficially for Dakota Ebert?
Well, he's been shot across the bow for the rest of this field here who wants to win this tournament. A great job all year long, and he continues the momentum here in Alabama.
Bill, this lake has the traits of being a lake that you would excel offshore, maybe using your forward-facing sonar in the abyss, but we're seeing anglers close to the bank, whether it's a dock and a walkway or top water like Dakota. Absolutely, the better quality fish live on the bank from what it looks like.
Well, it's that time of the year. You know, it's that fall time, that transitional period where, you know, them fish make that move. And a lot of fish move shallow this time of the year, and a lot of big fish, you know, or in this case, better than average size fish. And I think we're going to definitely see that as the day goes on today and the next couple of days. So I'd never count anybody out on this one, that's for sure.
Well, let's get back to the live action now. I hope we got you up to date with our Bassmaster Midday Report. Get out to our tournament leader, Dakota Ebear. Someone tells me he's not done for today.
Ebear and Meyer had 2.5 pounders when we were gone, and Meyer in second is now 2 pounds ahead of Easton Fothergill. With a lot of guys not on Bass Track, they could get in between there and maybe push it down and make it a race for the Tackle Warehouse EQ Angler of the Year.
Okay, that's a development.
I think Dakota's just running around having fun at this point.
Yeah, anything above this is more so good work, good hay in the hay's in the barn, as they say. He's already done his job.
Big bites this morning, or a big bite this morning on top water, and I got one good bite, and then I got another good bite, and then I got that big bite, you know, and it just really settled me down and kept me from having to go chase all those deep live scope fish, and put me in a position where I could slow down and kind of try to expand on something I might have a chance at winning doing. I just didn't think that I could catch very good quality out deep. I mean, I think that that's probably the most consistent way to catch 8 or 9, 10 pounds, but to catch that 12, 13, 14 pound range, I just didn't think it was possible based off what I saw. And that doesn't mean you couldn't catch a big one or two and have a really good day. But I felt like doing something like this, getting on a good topwater bite, was the way to win. But when you're in a position like I was in, or I'm in, and points are such a big deal, you know, I mean, we've worked all year long to try to qualify for the Elite Series. I had to get to 8, 9, you know, 10 pounds a day. And so I couldn't fish realistically, you know, to try to get just 5 or 6 bites today without risking screwing up the whole season. But catching those couple good quality bites early really allowed me to do that. It's been fun. It's really kind of opened my eyes to some different patterns and stuff that I didn't know was in play. I've caught, oh shoot, that's my rod. I've caught most of my fish today on topwater and on a jig. And I knew the topwater thing was going to be, the topwater bite's been good in the morning, but as soon as the sun gets up, it's died off quickly. And it has, you know, now that after about 9:30, I don't think I got any bites on the topwater, but I'd already had a good bag, so then I just picked up a jig and started picking apart some of these same areas, and I've been able to upgrade several times since then, so it's been fun. That was a terrible flip. And I've never even been in this creek, like in this area. I just kind of, like, I got bit on a couple things, and I looked at the map and I was like, all right, well, that looks like it. And I ran in there, and I've been just kind of just running a pattern, really. And just expanding on the day, like expanding on kind of what's went right and what's went wrong, and making the adjustments I need to make. And so, it's so hard to do whenever you got all the pressure in the world on you. But good Lord bless us with that big one early, and it just kind of freed me up, you know, and here we are having a good day. With the opportunity to have a great day if I can get one more, you know, really big bite.
He's done his job to get a lead qualified so far, and so has Matt Adams. The race now is Evan Kung, who's 33rd, and Bo Browning is 41st right now, and they were 5 points apart. Matt Adams was tied with Bo Browning for the last and final spot.
Give it some time. We got tons of time.
As always, it's going to come down to the last cast, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Really wanted to kind of fish where he was over there.
We remember seeing heartbreak last year, Tommy, ending the year at the Harris chain. Kyle Austin comes in with 4 fish. We see him lose one in a brush pile, one that he equated to being 4 pounds because he had just caught a 4-pounder out of that brush pile. Ends up missing the elites by 20 points, and that 4-pounder would probably did it. Somebody's
here we
gonna
are.
deal with
We're
that.
out here scoping around right now. I got a decent limit. You know, this is
climbed in. Same with Wesley
really the
Gore.
first time I've looked out here for some of these deeper schools of spots, but we've been fishing shallow, you know, catching them on top water, catch them on a Yamamoto Cinco. Now we're looking for, you know, a couple nice fish. Got a decent limit right now, you know, around 10 pounds or so. I got a couple 2.5s, and we got some 2-pounders, but we got like a 1.5 pounder I got to get rid of. So just thinking I'd come out here and scope around real quick, see if we can catch a couple, you know, 1.75 pound, 2-pounders, and go back to the bank. You know, I just don't feel like I can catch enough weight out here, but right now I would like to get one more. But so far it's good. You know, I'm having fun. It's been a good day so far. Fishing good. Lost one fish really that would have liked to have seen, but I have no complaints. It's a beautiful day on Lake Martin. Fish are biting. Just got to put it in front of a couple more nice ones.
Well, there you go, 1 and 2. Advantage Dakota E-Bear at this moment. Advantage as he described it, because now he can freewheel it. He can just absolutely not worry about the consequences. You don't have to settle for catching big numbers way offshore.
We may see him go up the river. Who knows? Somebody may use this extra time.
Why wouldn't? Yeah.
We haven't seen anyone explore north of Wind Creek yet. We'll see.
Dalton Smith and Joey Menina. Chris Blanchette moving up the leaderboard here in the afternoon.
Don't give up.
More than a simple spy, the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams are your covert analysts in the field. SD card free, built-in memory. Onboard Moultrie AI for false trigger reduction. Cloud-based AI for detailed tagging and filtering. You don't just get high-resolution photos and videos. You get access to our easy-to-use app, arming you with game plan, weather forecasts, and mapping, so you know when and where to hunt. Don't just capture images. Gather intelligence.
Out here, it takes a certain type. The type who's always the first one out. The type who knows deep down everyone else is just fishing for second. Enter the Apex Series. See more fish. Seize more victories. Settle for nothing less. With unrivaled clarity, it's the top fish finder for the most demanding type of angler. Only from Humminbird.
I'll be your beast of burden. An ally in enemy territory. Overgrown, nasty, unkind. Throw me in and watch me swim. Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry, where the fish are worth the fight. If you ask me, the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Each K.M.S. boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. K.M.S. stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a K.M.S. boat is about more than fishing. K.M.S. boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities in 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
Hang on. Whoa now. We got more to come. Absolutely, it could get bumpy out there. Been a little wind on the water on Lake Martin today. This is going to be the windiest of the 3 days that we're fishing here. That's cameraman Mark out there with the Eastern Fothergill.
I thought I recognized that handle.
Well, yeah, that's pretty sharp. You're pretty observant there, Ronnie. That's superhuman almost. Congratulations. So let's not go out to Eastern Fothergill. Obviously, he's on the move right now. So let's go on out to Emil Wagner. We're from Georgia.
Big one. Come on. No. My help. He looked huge on the graph. I think he'll help, hopefully. We need it.
Be his first fish over 2 pounds.
We need it.
Tommy, a big shout out to Kelly J, former Elite Series pro.
Yeah.
Was excited to see this open come to his home lake. Tried to get into it.
Oh, this is his home lake. This is
yeah.
Kelly's. Okay.
And it made me think of Kelly J because talked to him about it leading up to the tournament, but also that boat ramp right behind to the left of the bridge where Emil's at is where he took me out on Martin one day, and we shot some videos, and he was showing me his jerkbait magic and all that stuff back in the day. And so I was like, I know that boat ramp and that bridge. I remember.
That was good to hear from Kelly.
What'd you call it? Jerkbait magic?
Jerkbait magic. He was throwing a jerkbait. He was one of the, I don't know, Mount Rushmore jerkbait guys before it was cool, you know? Before a lot of people throw it.
He was the
You'd have
best
to put,
bet for jerkbait.
You'd have to put, I don't know, your vote, but there's 4 people on Mount Rushmore, like a Van Dam, a Cherry, a Kelly J. I don't know who else would be 4th, but those are.
He's as good as it gets when it comes to jerkbait fishing.
Guys.
Kelly gave me a jerkbait one time in one of our events, and it was
just a mean spot, or what?
Had a few little things done to it, and I was like, all right.
Noted.
I see what you got going on here.
They're so mean. Yeah, that'll call. Should. That should call. Yeah, nice little belly, long fish.
He said he wanted to get rid of that one little one he had.
Pulling, that's for sure.
He's gonna go back to the bank.
We got a 157. We got a 157. And that is a 185. Heck yeah. Baby steps, but that works. Number 4.
About a 6 ounce
3
call.
ounce?
Yeah, from about 1.8 to 1.14.
That's an 8 ounce. Yeah.
Yeah. 1.5 to
Look how skinny that little dude
almost
is.
2 pounder. 6 ounces, that's like
All right,
21
hey,
spots,
that's like-
Tommy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just as I was talking about, man, going to plan. We fish up shallow, come out here, catch one. That's how it's supposed to be, right?
Coming in, said he didn't think he could overcome 27 points at Easton Fothergill, but he wanted to be there just in case Fothergill were to slip.
Get back out to Dakota E-Bear. We got a catch that we were not able to get to you live earlier in the day, so we had to feed it when we got to a better signal situation. But why don't you see this? This was earlier today with Dakota E-Bear.
I got her.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. Maybe there's another one. I don't. This thing was on the bank, I think. I think it was this fish was literally like out of the water on the bank chasing a shad. And we seen it. And we were like, what in the world is that? Like, I didn't even cast up there because it was like, it was, I know you ain't never seen nothing like that. I ain't never seen nothing like that. It like come out the water twice chasing a shad, like got stuck on the bank, like was going nuts. And then like the second time I seen it, I seen the yellow side, I was like, that's a bass. I flipped over there with the jig and it ate it. I'll be dang.
I thought it was a turtle going off.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what was going on. 111, help me out, get bit. Oh, no, get your big head down. 111. Pulled out a 1.5.
A lot of crooked numbers on his bass track. 312, 20, 28, 2114.
No.
So that catch would have
I think there
been
was
exactly
more
an
than
hour
one,
ago.
maybe. I don't really know.
Yeah, it's 2
While we
I
were
believe.
at the pause, yeah. Part of his
I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the smallest one.
12-pound limit.
multiple largemouth too, and that'll be the key is the largemouth might not be that much bigger, but when you see an angler coming with 5 largemouth versus an angler with 5 spots or only 1 largemouth, that's the one who's going to be the.
Yeah. Easton Fothergill has landed where he needed to be.
Good to see that Mark is upright. And,
yeah,
okay.
Cameraman Mark.
Oh.
Bill Owen, you're 27 points ahead of your nearest competitor going into this final event. What's your tack? What do you do?
I mean, you just go for it, I guess, at this point. You know what I mean? He's had such a great year and hadn't stumbled at all, so why not?
You don't play anything safe. You just throw it all in.
Let's get back out to Paul Marks. Again, 7th place so far today.
He and Chris Blanchette both caught 3 O's. They put in Bass Track to jump in our top 10 while we were on break. Second only to A-Bear's 312.
It's been pretty slow. I caught a pretty nice one earlier and kind of got my bag up to a pretty nice bag. So I'm gonna fish the rest of the day, try to catch another real nice one. I don't want to beat up on my deep fish anymore. Might need them tomorrow, so I'm just gonna run brand new water. Hopefully run into something. Pretty tough though. I was fortunate to catch a couple nice spots, then that nice largemouth.
Give you a look at that 3-pounder he was referring to. We've been referring to. Put him up
Flipped a
very
jig.
close to the 10-pound mark.
Flipped a jig right there up to the left side of that dock.
Louie.
On his home lake of Lanier, they call those trash fish because they like the big spots more than largemouth. But here, I guess it would be treasured fish. We can call it.
Score-wise, yes. I don't know. We've covered a dozen tournaments on the Coosa River. I never heard of a largemouth as a trash fish.
Yeah, no, I think that's just a Lanier thing.
Okay,
you know,
all right.
I think that's just a metropolitan.
City slicker stuff.
That's where the high-class spotted bass are from?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Well, it's a beautiful day. Why wouldn't you be out on the water on a day like today? Alabama, good stuff from Lake Martin, and plenty more to come for sure.
Don't give up.
Any short-sighted spy in the field can provide you with images. Only the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams provide tactical reconnaissance, high-resolution photos and videos paired with detailed intel of where game is most active. Built for simplicity, just turn on your Edge 2 cell cam and it will auto-connect to one of the 4 major cellular networks, while our easy-to-use app arms you with game plan so you can determine where and when to hunt. Don't just capture images, gather intelligence.
Live imaging shows you what's below in real time with edge-to-edge clarity and no gaps in coverage, all so you can turn must-watch detail into non-stop action. Only from Humminbird.
You're here for the hook set and nothing else. Because the battle between you and the bass should always be front and center. And now that the best trolling motors ever made are even better, we'll lead the charge. So you can focus on getting them to bite whenever and wherever the fight takes you. With Minn Kota, you're free to fish on any front.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
We're all sick of those deep voice industry buzzwords. Let's actually talk about something fun. Swim baits. The issue is it's intimidating for most anglers to gain confidence in throwing something this big. At Clutch Swim Bait Company, our social media posts, our videos, and our website is all dedicated to helping you, the angler, gain confidence in throwing these big baits. Beginner to advanced, we provide you the products and resources to help you catch more game-changing fish. If you'd like to take your swim bait fishing to the next level, check us out on social media or at clutchswimbaitco.com.
Each B.A.S.S boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. B.A.S.S stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a B.A.S.S boat is about more than fishing. B.A.S.S boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities with 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
Moving on through the afternoon here. It's 12:37 local time, Central Time here in Alexander City, Alabama, and fabulous Lake Martin for the St. Croix Bassmaster Open, presented by 7. Last event of the year. This is day one action, and Dakota Ebear, Cody Meyer, two of the most acclaimed anglers to join this Open circuit this year, are 1 and 2 at the final event. No big surprise to anyone right there. They have proved they can get it done all over these United States, and Lake Martin obviously is no exception. Let's get out to Georgia's Emil Wagner. Been a busy guy, catching a lot of fish today.
I know they come off on the spoon soup. Yeah. Come on. Yes. That'll frickin' work right there. That will work. Finally got a decent bite. It's gotta be close to 2 pounds. Just had that spoon on earlier. They went nuts when they saw it. That can't be right. Maybe I just haven't seen a good one all day. He's not big at all. Does help though. 160. Looks a lot bigger than that.
Got a 1.5 to get rid of, so.
I think you gained an ounce there, is that right? Fish was long and skinny.
Now I have no clue.
So many different things going on.
We have 6 of our 9 cameras in the top 14 right now, Tommy.
That's pretty good. That's like unbelievable, really.
And then Emil, Tucker, and Evan are the other 3, and they're in the top 36.
We need to carry that mojo over to the Elite Series.
Yeah, it
make our day one action a lot better.
Hey, we've, at least put Patrick Walters on camera all 4 days at Murray, and he led wire to wire. At least we did that right.
That's That's
you get it right every once in a while.
Yeah,
Every once in a while you get it right.
Pigging it once in a while.
Very long shot, 11th place Bobby Bakewell. In points, 11th place is up to 17th right now with a limit of 8 pounds. He'd still started 67 points behind the 2 guys tied, so one of those guys would really have to falter. And Matt Adams, we know, is not. Bo Browning has a limit, 5 fish he entered as 1-0, so who knows if he's got a little bit more than that. Or
all you can ask for is if you do your job, especially when you don't control your own destiny. And Bobby doesn't control it. Garrett Paquette doesn't control it. They both have over 7 pounds. If they get in that 9 or 10 range and you're maybe close to Adams and Browning, some kind of chaos happens tomorrow and they slip or don't do well, maybe a short of a limit. Like, you just want to be there in a position, and you can't do that if you eliminate yourself on day one. So at least they know that they're just waiting.
What's killing the guys hoping to climb is that our field decreased from around 200 to 121.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of guys who can't.
Where you would have jumped over 20 people, you're jumping over 8.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, at this point, all you can do is do your job and not worry about what everybody else is doing.
Yeah, today's been all right. I've got a couple nice ones in the box. Still just running around, just trying to figure out what I want to do as far as what type of structure and stuff I want to fish. I'm still going to bounce around and fish a bunch of brush piles, but it's definitely a lot tougher today. Not as many fish catches. But we're just going to keep running out. We've got plenty of time. I got to upgrade a couple times and just kind of bebop our way back up this river. So we'll see what happens. Got some time left, so got to make something happen.
What's your bait choice today?
It's mainly been a drop shot type of deal, but caught some on a jig, which was cool. I'm still gonna play around with that. Just kind of junk fishing. Then obviously when you start seeing some some dots that are out, schooled up out front. That Demiki rig gets them, so kind of just junking around, hoping for the best.
Andrew Loberg, Guntersville area, California. That's where he grew up, came up, learned how to fish. Evan Kung from Canada, from Ontario.
Andrew Loberg, obviously we talked about making that move from California to Guntersville, fishing some of the lakes around here. He fished in, I believe it's a ABT 100. Like it's different than the regular Alabama Bass Trail tournaments. And it's like 25 or 30K for the win. And I think he left an open and got there with a day of practice and they won it. And so it was a huge, or they was jumping into him. He had to leave to go to Okeechobee and he won that to start the year off. And so Andrew's been definitely putting in a lot of work in Alabama as well. And that's a great state to either get your teeth kicked in or learn how to block those kicks, Bill.
Yeah, that's for sure. Especially that area right there.
He also owns one of the biggest water thermoses I've ever seen in my life there. Did you see that thing he was drinking out of?
That's why California is short on water, Tommy. All their anglers have it in their jugs. No.
He made away with some of it, didn't he? The St. Croix Bassmaster Open. Last stop of the year. A lot of good stuff going on out there today. Lots of movement up and down the leaderboard. Some interesting possibilities developing out there. And these anglers have, well, the first flight anglers have less than an hour and a half to fish at this point right now. Excuse me, less than 2 hours to fish. We will be back on it momentarily when we return.
Don't give up.
More than a simple spy, the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams are your covert analysts in the field. SD card free, built-in memory. Onboard Moultrie AI for false trigger reduction. Cloud-based AI for detailed tagging and filtering. You don't just get high-resolution photos and videos. You get access to our easy-to-use app, arming you with game plan, weather forecasts, and mapping, so you know when and where to hunt. Don't just capture images. Gather intelligence.
Out here, it takes a certain type. The type who's always the first one out. The type who knows deep down everyone else is just fishing for second. Enter the Apex Series. See more fish. Seize more victories. Settle for nothing less. With unrivaled clarity, it's the top fish finder for the most demanding type of angler. Only from Humminbird.
I'll be your beast of burden. An ally in enemy territory. Overgrown, nasty, unkind. Throw me in and watch me swim. Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry, where the fish are worth the fight. If you ask me, the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Each K.M.S. boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. K.M.S. stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a K.M.S. boat is about more than fishing. K.M.S. boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities in 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
Great to have you with us this afternoon. Checking in on the St. Croix Bassmaster Open live coverage all day long. We started first thing this morning, a little bit after takeoff at 6:30 a.m. That's the time they'll go tomorrow, 6:30 a.m. local time. We'll be there on FS2 for you starting at 7 a.m. local time, 8 Eastern. Dakota Ebear, the man on top. Great day for him here, 12 pounds even, puts him ahead of Cody Meyer. They're in second place. Cody Meyer also started this day. Second place in the Tackle Warehouse EQ standings, which means he's looking really, really good to attain his goal of making it to fish on the Bassmaster Elite Series next year in 2025. Here's Matt Adams.
Update is I got a spook in my shoe. It's been a lot more difficult today than what it has been. I don't know, or at least it has for me. I don't know what everybody else, I'm sure somebody's figured it out, but I'm getting a lot less bites. I'm sitting at about probably close to 9.5 pounds. Feel like I really need one more fish to be where I need to be for tomorrow for the elites. Yeah, that's just my assumption. It's, I've not seen martin this tough as far as just getting bit. So we're gonna run around and we're gonna continue to fish brush and docks and see if we can't stumble on the right one. Because I feel like right now I need another 2.5 pounder to put me over the 10-pound mark to get to where I need to be tomorrow, and then we'll worry about tomorrow. So I did have more pressure in my main creek today than what I anticipated. I don't know if that played with it or not. I don't have a clue. But we're just gonna keep running around and chucking at them. All we can do is just keep throwing at them, see what happens. So I can't get bit on anything but a shaky head, and we got some pretty good wind today, which has made it very difficult because I'm throwing a 3/16 ounce shaky head that and throwing it on a bait caster because of what I'm throwing it in. I'm throwing it in a bunch of brush and In practice, I had a hard time getting fish out with a spinning rod, so I went to bait caster, and now today the wind is making it very difficult. But I'm not really disappointed in what I have. We've got almost 3 hours left to catch one good one. So I know what I've got to do, and just got to figure out a way to do it.
Showed you a lot of pictures with boat docks in them all day long. That's a big feature of Lake Martin. Lots of development, but there's some wild areas too, as you can see. That's where we find Dakota eBear right now.
William Davis Bait Company got me another batch of shaky heads ready to go because I'm losing them at a rapid pace. That one actually didn't do much to the shaky head.
The fish last time, so. There's a spotted bass probably running that bait right there. Yep, there he is. Told you. Oh, look at them all underneath it. Several of them. I seen that ball of bait swim over the top of where my line was, and I know my jig was down there, knowing that bait wasn't just swimming for no reason the way that it was swimming. I figured something was pushing it, and sure enough, as soon as that bait went over my line, boom, one of them spotted bass that was chasing them minnows got distracted by a crawfish on the bottom. Come on, don't get hung up, please. Come on. Don't do it. I really want to fish this stretch without getting hung up. Gosh, dog it. I think that's what happened last time.
Yeah, I mean, today's been halfway decent. Not a lot of bites like I had in practice, but like I said earlier, I think it's a lot of this north wind maybe messing them up a little bit. But, you know, I'm pleased with a couple 2-pounders because in practice I caught, I think, 3 or 4 in 5 days. So I don't have obviously a really big bag at all, but we still got a lot of time to chip away at it. Just got to keep bouncing and hitting new water and checking everything I found in practice. It's just hard to key in on a certain deal. There's so many small fish in this lake, it's just really hard to key in on a certain deal to run. But if I can hit as many high percentage spots as I can in a day, hopefully I can get a couple decent ones.
When you looked at the weather earlier, did you tell what direction the wind was coming from?
I think the wind was coming from the northeast today, and I think it's going to come directly from the west or the east the next 2 days. Like it flips, but it's at 4. Today it was at 9 to 10. It looks like it's 4. So even if it blows tomorrow and Saturday, it should be minimal wind, and it's going to come from obviously residual. Even if the hurricane's not hitting, that wind is coming from a certain direction or angle, you know.
Yeah, I just heard Andrew say the wind's coming out of the north, and
yeah,
you hear a couple of the guys talking about how their bite's not as strong as it was in practice, and we all typically know what a north wind does, especially if it's got a little east in it.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Got a front going through today and another one in another 5 days, so maybe be more normalcy after today, maybe.
Yeah, like I would assume with the bluebird skies and the way that northeast winds that we're going to be either post-frontal tomorrow or today is a post-frontal day.
Yeah.
Easton's just rolling along looking for one to throw at, I'm assuming here. Or he's chasing brush piles, huh?
Yeah, and we had seen Emil do the same thing. You know, he fish a brush pile, and then before he leaves, fish a few more brush piles.
At 55 anglers out of our 121 who have fish entered on Bass Track. We get guys like Will Davis, Scott Martin, and Russ Lane without a fish. So we may see some surprises this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
We always see surprises.
Yeah, we do. Well, that's
Always.
a good point. We just count on it.
We're like a soap opera. We got drama everywhere. Manufacturing the drama, making up the drama, waiting for the drama to happen.
Enhancing the drama.
We're talking about drama, and I want to bring up the guy who's brought us the most drama. He's been the one question. He'll give us his whole game plan, or he's going to have a meltdown, or his highest achievement on camera, and that is Matt Adams. I'm at the Dakota Lithium Screen of Knowledge, and he is the center of our Bubble Boy talk for the Tackle Warehouse EQ points race. We've got 9 anglers who are going to make it to the Bassmaster Elite Series after this weekend's competition is solidified. We may lock that in after tomorrow's day, too, obviously with only 10 anglers fishing on the final day. Little bit of movement that can be had there, not much. This is the way they were coming in. We've shown you the whole leaderboard. We've talked about Easton and Cody at the top fighting for the overall Angler of the Year. But at the bottom here, this is where it gets a little tight, and then there's some gaps that we need to watch for. But Dakota came in with an 11-point lead over that last spot. Evan Kung 5 points ahead of that last spot. Dakota obviously has done his job. He's at the top of the leaderboard today. He should have solidified it with at least a 5-fish limit tomorrow. He'll be good to go. But guys like Evan Kung, Matt Adams, Bo Browning, they're going to be ones to watch as they're going to be mid-pack. They're in those weight zones that we say there's going to be 30, 40, 50 anglers in that weight zone. We'll keep an eye on it there. Bobby Bakewell is going to really have some problems on his hand. The only thing he needs, or the only hope that he'll have, is if guys like Evan Kung, Matt Adams, Bo Browning are not in the top 68. If they're in the top 68, it's game over. He needs help from those guys if he wants to make the top 9. The one big thing that I'll say here, there's a lot of points to move, and we'll know a lot more tomorrow's show after having a day 1 leaderboard. Matt Adams owns the tiebreaker over every single person pictured here. So if he ties with Bo Browning at the end of the event, he'll have that tiebreaker. Let's just say they both finish 15th place. He will advance on. He's got the weight tiebreaker over Evan Kung as well. And so if he gained 5 more spots than Evan, he'll obviously have a weight tiebreaker for this event as well. So Matt is really controlling his own destiny. He's the last one on the leaderboard to make it, and he has control over everyone if they were to tie. So Matt's in a good spot, a lot better spot than he was maybe 3 hours ago when he didn't have a limit, and now he's got additional fish. He just has to make sure he doesn't lose any to mortality, makes it in on time, and just 5 more fish tomorrow, and he could be the last guy to get into the Bassmaster Elite Series. We'll keep an eye on Bo Browning. I think we'll see him on camera tomorrow a little bit, Tommy, maybe.
All right. One of many scenarios we got to keep our eyes on throughout the course of this tournament because it's all going to be wrapped up and decided here in short order. Just a day and 2.5 days away is what we've got for this season. We'll be right back to Lake Martin.
Don't give up.
Any short-sighted spy in the field can provide you with images. Only the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams provide tactical reconnaissance, high-resolution photos and videos paired with detailed intel of where game is most active. Built for simplicity, just turn on your Edge 2 cell cam and it will auto-connect to one of the 4 major cellular networks, while our easy-to-use app arms you with game plan so you can determine where and when to hunt. Don't just capture images, gather intelligence.
Mega Live Imaging shows you what's below in real time with edge-to-edge clarity and no gaps in coverage, all so you can turn must-watch detail into non-stop action. Only from Humminbird.
You're here for the hook set and nothing else. Because the battle between you and the bass should always be front and center. And now that the best trolling motors ever made are even better, we'll lead the charge. So you can focus on getting them to bite whenever and wherever the fight takes you. With Minn Kota, you're free to fish on any front.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
We're all sick of those deep-voiced industry buzzwords. Let's actually talk about something fun. Swim baits. The issue is it's intimidating for most anglers to gain confidence in throwing something this big. At Clutch Swim Bait Company, our social media posts, our videos, and our website is all dedicated to helping you, the angler, gain confidence in throwing these big baits. Beginner to advanced, we provide you the products and resources to help you catch more game-changing fish. If you'd like to take your swim bait fishing to the next level, check us out on social media or at clutchswimbaitco.com.
Each K.M.S. boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. K.M.S. stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a K.M.S. boat is about more than fishing. K.M.S. boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities with 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
Welcome back. St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Martin, presented by 7 Reels here in Alexander City, Alabama. Lake Martin, I've been here in a long time on Bassmaster Live. I think that was 2018, an Elite Series event back then. That was a completely different
chilly
time of
one.
the year. Oh, very chilly, very rainy and cold looking, and basically one cast that won the tournament. Takahiro Mori making that cast again and again and again. But a different Lake Martin that we are looking at right now. And now joining us to help us watch the goings on here and give us some insights is our 2023 Bassmaster Elite Series Angler of the Year, Kyle Welcher. Kyle, thank you for giving some time to us today, and tell us about your long, extensive relationship with Lake Martin.
Yeah, you know, this is actually the first lake I actually ever traveled any distance to fish, and I've probably fished 80 or 90 small tournaments on Lake Martin. So I really feel at home with Lake Martin, and I wish I'd have signed up a little bit earlier for Lake Hartwell so I could have been at this one.
Yeah, that's right. I bet you would love to be here. Talk about how different it is, this Lake Martin in the autumn. I mean, it's not like fishing it in the spring.
No, it's definitely not, because all these clear water lakes like this, they get way easier to catch whenever they're around the spawn. In the spring, they get on the bait, and I mean, Lake Martin has some tiny bait in it, has some big bait in it, but they get really, really hard to catch whenever they're on that, you know, when they're dedicated and chasing around that bait. So the big largemouth in the fall, they turn into ghosts. But that's what definitely is the difference makers. And you saw Dakota have one, but that's the problem, is the spots are still pretty easy to catch in the fall, but those 4-pound largemouth, it's like they just disappear until February, they show back up.
Have the spots through the years gotten bigger, or are they've always been a little on the smaller size compared to some other rivers in Alabama there?
They seem the same exact size for my entire life. It's like, I mean, you could catch 10.5 to 11 pounds of spots when I first started fishing there 15 years ago, and it's still like what you seem to catch over there. So, I mean, a couple years ago, it got where we saw a couple 17-pound bags of spots in like a 3-week window. It was like 17-pound bags of spots weighed in three weeks in a row. And then since then, it's like they disappeared. So, I mean, they don't seem to get very much bigger to me.
Kyle, the off season of 2022, you said you spent a lot more time on the water than you had in previous years. You honed in some skills, and then you went and dominated the elites in 2023. You just got back from Japan. Was this year's recipe for the off season getting some secret baits from Japan to dominate for next year? Is that what you were planning for?
I'm definitely open to some secret baits dominating, and I spent a lot of money in Japan, and I had to throw some clothes out of my suitcase and leave them there to fit all my new lures in to get them back over here. So I'm hoping that's the recipe for next year.
Was it cool to see the culture across the pond of that type of angler and that culture behind fishing, and how many tackle shops and how just the excitement behind the sport there?
Yeah, it is, and it's a different vibe, because in Japan, everybody appreciates fishing. Everybody doesn't bass fish, but everybody appreciates it, you know, because I guess it's because it's an island. People fish all around, whether it be saltwater, freshwater, whatever. It seems like in America, fishing's not really, you know, people don't respect it quite as much over here, but over there, it's like a way of life. Everybody does it. So when you say that you're a bass fisherman over there, everybody's just all about it.
Kyle, when you think about guys fishing autumn, Lake Martin this week, under the conditions we got right now, from north wind, pretty clear skies, how far do you think a guy can go? Can he make the top 10 after 2 days with 10 pounds a day?
I don't think 10 pounds a day. I think there's a huge difference on Lake Martin between like 10 pounds and 10 3/4, a huge difference. So I think just under 11 a day will probably be, you know, 21.5 is probably going to be the mark for the top 10, I would assume. So I fished a couple local tournaments there so far this year, and the weights have been decent. So I would say, you know, 21.5 for 2 days will probably be top 10-ish.
Kyle, when you see the 9 rookies that came from the Opens last year to fish the Bassmaster Elite Series with y'all, and now you look at this year's class with the coverage we've had at every Open, you kind of get to see what these anglers are really good at, and also the wide variety of techniques that they do dip into. When you see the guys like Easton, Tucker Smith, you see Paul Marks, Emil Wagner, all those guys that are younger, more spotted bass tech savvy guys, but they mingle well with the Cody Myers of the world. Do you think we're going to have such a diverse group that's coming into the elites next year?
You know, it sure seems like it. And, you know, a lot of these guys that are young, they've been doing it for a long time. Like you said, Tucker Smith, I mean, seems like he's been fishing for 20 years. You know, I've been hearing about his name forever, it seems like. But not only are we going to have a super diverse field, as tournaments like this, they really build character, because you have to catch them every single day in this. And nobody's going to catch 20 pounds and just, you know, be cruising through the rest of the tournament. Like, you're going to have 10.5 pounds and have to go catch them tomorrow. So a lot of these tournaments this year on the Opens have built a lot of character and resiliency. So not only are they young and good, and they're going to mingle with us all really well, they've also been through the ups and downs a lot.
Kyle, earlier you see Bill Owens with us here today. We're talking to Bill about a lot of things, including blueback herring. And you said your opinion is no good. That blueback herring will mess things up. And I got a text from Trip Weldon, who's a big, the emeritus tournament director, one of the greatest of all time, who spent so much time there. And he said, "Yeah, I agree with Bill. It's not a good effect on a lake." What's your opinion about the blueback in the 10 years that they've been in Lake Martin?
You know, man, it's awesome whenever you get around them, the bluebacks, but Lake Martin has such a tiny population of blueback herring that Lake Martin just sprawls out and it goes forever and ever and ever. And there's not that many blueback in it for the size of the lake. Like whenever you go to Murray or Hartwell, you can actually figure out where the bluebacks are and you know, collide with the bass on it. But Martin just does not have many. Like I talked to a lot of the locals there, and me and Tripp have talked about it. And there's not a ton in Lake Martin. No. It's just enough to where if you're lucky and in the right place, you know, you can find some of those big spots feeding on them. But I'm gonna agree with the other two. I think I like threadfin a whole lot better because they're a lot slower and a lot more predictable.
Did you think coming in, seeing this lake on the schedule at the last second? Is Lake Martin with the quality spotted bass, are we missing a part of the lake? Is there a certain region of the lake where there are bigger spotted bass, or is it a depth zone right now? Are we in the stage of a turnover, or there just something untapped right now from our 9 guys on camera?
You know, typically in the fall, it's all about Kalijah Bay. Like that's what everybody hears about. That's the big ones. But we had a lot of rain a couple of weeks ago, and we got, you know, anytime there's a lot of rain that comes through that river, and there's an above average amount of current coming through the river, the top half of that lake, the bigger spotted bass will all of a sudden pull up because it gets a little bit dirtier. And anytime there's a little bit of current, it kind of puts them to the cover. So that river has kind of played for me because that fresh water coming in, but it's going to be between Kalijah and then around Wind Creek is typically the two best areas, in my opinion, for the 2 1/4 plus spotted bass.
Tommy, Kyle Welcher passes the test because I had Kelly J text me the same thing about an hour ago, so I knew his answer, and I'm glad your answer lined up exactly with his. So we know we can call you a Lake Martin expert now.
Well, we don't, you know, you can't do that to somebody.
Hey, I had the answer. If it was different, I wouldn't have called him out on it. It would have just been a different perspective. But they lined up. I can trust both sources now. We know how anglers are always sandbagging or not telling the full truth. He told the truth to me at
You were trying to set him up.
Yeah, you were trying to set him up. One quick question, Kyle, before we have to go take a break. How well does this lake take pressure? And will what was working today hold up through 2 more days?
It absolutely will, but there's certain bites that are pivotal. Like there's 3-pound bites that you get, and you're not going to be able to bank on those from the same area every day. But if you go through an area and you get 10 or 12 bites, you can go through that area tomorrow and you're still going to get some bites. But the difference maker fish, that's the only ones that matter on this lake. Those 3-pound plus fish, you have to get at least one of those a day or 2, and you cannot pattern those. But the areas will hold up, and the lake handles pressure very well.
Kyle, it's been a great pleasure talking to you. Glad we caught you checking out next year's competition here on the TV. That's a big help to us, and appreciate it. And we'll see you next year. It's going to be great. Kyle Welcher, giving us some time there. He's from nearby. I mean, that's what we did. We should have prefaced.
Opelika.
Yeah, Opelika, Alabama. Steve Kennedy also from
he
that
jumps
area.
to the West Point over there and just toils with the tough lakes, it seems. Toils with the tough lakes, West Point and Lake Martin.
All right, well, we'll get back to the action. We saw a few fish catches there while we were talking to Kyle. Maybe we can revisit a couple of those as well. That's just moments away.
Don't give up.
than a simple spy, the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams are your covert analysts in the field. SD card free, built-in memory. Onboard Moultrie AI for false trigger reduction. Cloud-based AI for detailed tagging and filtering. You don't just get high-resolution photos and videos. You get access to our easy-to-use app, arming you with game plan, weather forecasts, and mapping, so you know when and where to hunt. Don't just capture images. Gather intelligence.
Out here, it takes a certain type. The type who's always the first one out. The type who knows deep down everyone else is just fishing for second. Enter the Apex Series. See more fish. Seize more victories. Settle for nothing less. With unrivaled clarity, it's the top fish finder for the most demanding type of angler. Only from Humminbird.
I'll be your beast of burden. An ally in enemy territory. Overgrown, nasty, unkind. Throw me in and watch me swim. Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry, where the fish are worth the fight. If you ask me, the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Each K.M.S. boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. K.M.S. stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a K.M.S. boat is about more than fishing. K.M.S. boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities with 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
The St. Croix Bassmaster Open, Lake Martin, Alexander City, Alabama, is brought to you by Ranger Boats, by Rapala, and by Yamaha. We started way back the very first week in February 2024, catching big giant bass down on Lake Okeechobee. But if you're a pro bass angler, you have to beat everybody catching big ones. You got to beat everybody when everyone's catching small ones too. That's the challenge this week, and so far the best at it has been Dakota Ebear. He's been one of the best anglers out here, no doubt, through the course of those 9 months since the 1st of February. He stands atop things right now, certainly with eyes on winning this tournament. Of course, the main goal of the whole season for him is to make it to the Bassmaster Elite Series. He's taken giant steps toward that end this week as well.
He told, when I talked to him and he was signing up at the last second Okeechobee, he said, man, I asked myself, I said, what do I want to do? I want to fish in the Classic one day. How do you fish in the Classic? I got to fish this trail or this trail or this trail to get there. What am I doing fishing elsewhere and other things if I want to make the
really
Classic?
tough,
And
but,
that's why he jumped
just
in.
been
He had to.
Bouncing around, fishing a bunch of water, but it's definitely super tough. Trying to fish some brush now, see if I can catch a bigger fish. But we'll see. I got to weigh in early today, so not the best time, but tomorrow I'll get a late day, which will be nice.
Tucker sitting in 33rd place right now with his limit.
He mentioned, I think he's boat 3 or boat 4, so he has first flight 2:30 today, but 4 o'clock tomorrow. I would love to end my season with the most fishing time possible. I know it evens out and it's fair, but boy, it just seems like I need just another hour on that final day of the season just to make sure everything's good.
We always need another hour.
Just another hour.
He's boat number 2 today, right?
Oh, number 2, I shortchanged him.
And there's been some talk, you've reported some of it, and Bill, you backed that up to say that the evenings bites, the later day bites in this time of year can sometimes be pretty good.
Absolutely. We mentioned it before, we keep hearing a lot of guys talk about their bites off a little bit, things have changed. And then I've heard some of the guys comment on that northeast wind blowing in, and us as fishermen, we always got that, reason why they're not biting and all that. And we always feel like that north wind makes them not bite. It's just not a predominant wind, and I think when that happens, it changes them up. And tomorrow, I think we're supposed to get some of the right kind of winds, or at least the right direction. So
more westerly, yeah.
But they've been catching them pretty good today.
I think you starred in that 6 seconds that Dave Mercer did at St. John's River one time, asking excuses why you didn't catch them. And that day you actually left your fishing rods in your hotel. And that was your reason. Your excuse was, hey, I didn't have my fishing rods, and you literally didn't.
Yeah, that was for real.
You got to have a reason, You always got to have an excuse.
Well, that's one you can't argue with. It's just almost impossible to catch them without rods.
Yeah, hard to fish without a fishing pole.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Like, I want to say most years, like you've always adapted. Every schedule's a Bill Lowen schedule. Like we start out and there's some spawn, there's some shallow, there's some grimy, there's some good. But next year with 4 rivers on the schedule, you got the St. John's, you got the Sabine, you got the Pasquotank, and you have the Mississippi River. 4 rivers. I mean, that says, for one, it says Bill Lowen. 2, it says Brian Schmidt. So, So how do you feel about looking at that schedule, balancing what you're good at with also,
close this year,
tech and stuff?
I've always been that guy that kind of doesn't look into the schedule too much. I feel like when I do that, or maybe get that preconceived notion, I kind of tend to stub my toe. So I really don't look into it too much. Kind of like Ike and Ellie and fish the moment when I get there. But to see a schedule set up like that where you feel like you can fish in your comfort zone, it's always a big plus. But we'll see what happens.
You gonna go pre-fish any place that you hadn't really been?
Probably over to the one you said I can't pronounce.
The Pasquotank?
Yeah. I hear it's got big ones in it. I've never seen it, don't know anything about it, so probably need to go over there and at least drive around.
We told Brian Schmidt when he was here that the last time a B.A.S.S event was there was in 1981, and Basil Bacon won it. And Larry Nixon and Rick Clunn were in the top 3 with him. So there's some old school best of the best right there in the top 3.
Yeah, I hear.
Gosh, there's a bunch underneath that.
Or see, you know, when you look around, try to do some research, you see that it's full of giant bass. And I'm thinking to myself, how can we have a place on the earth anymore that is full of giant bass and we don't have events there, we don't know about it?
Yeah.
So it'd be exciting to see a new body of water.
I feel like tidal bass bite every day. Like whether the weather's
doesn't
terrible,
matter.
it's because they have a factor that draws them more than what the conditions are, and that is the movement of the water in and out versus if it's clear or cloudy.
And tidal river fish, they're just mean, so they just want to bite.
Did they? We're just gonna shoot across. I'm just trying to cover water. I'm gonna stay on these, we're gonna stay running these points with these laydowns for now.
Cody's definitely trying to catch him a good one.
Well, he's got the luxury of time.
Right.
He has set his spot for today, and he's done all the important work. He can do pretty much whatever he wants to in the final hour or 2 hours of fishing.
Yeah, he pulls up on the right laydown and catches up another 4-pounder or something. He'd be way ahead of the game.
Tucker Smith, number 3 in points, coming into this event here, this final stop of the season. St. Croix Bassmaster Opens. He's got some work to do today, though. He's down to the 33rd spot. Not terrible. He can hang in there with that. Just depends on the rest of the world cooperating properly. They cooperated by catching a whole bunch of fish today, and we expect to see some more fish catching, starting when we return just a couple of minutes away.
Don't give up.
Any short-sighted spy in the field can provide you with images. Only the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams provide tactical reconnaissance, high-resolution photos and videos paired with detailed intel of where game is most active. Built for simplicity, just turn on your Edge 2 cell cam and it will auto-connect to one of the 4 major cellular networks, while our easy-to-use app arms you with game plan so you can determine where and when to hunt. Don't just capture images, gather intelligence.
Live imaging shows you what's below in real time with edge-to-edge clarity and no gaps in coverage, all so you can turn must-watch detail into non-stop action. Only from Humminbird.
You're here for the hook set and nothing else. Because the battle between you and the bass should always be front and center. And now that the best trolling motors ever made are even better, we'll lead the charge. So you can focus on getting them to bite whenever and wherever the fight takes you. With Minn Kota, you're free to fish on any front.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
We're all sick of those deep voice industry buzzwords. Let's actually talk about something fun. Swim baits. The issue is it's intimidating for most anglers to gain confidence in throwing something this big. At Clutch Swim Bait Company, our social media posts, our videos, and our website is all dedicated to helping you, the angler, gain confidence in throwing these big baits. Beginner to advanced, we provide you the products and resources to help you catch more game-changing fish. If you'd like to take your swim bait fishing to the next level, check us out on social media or at clutchswimbaitco.com.
Each B.A.S.S boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. B.A.S.S stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a B.A.S.S boat is about more than fishing. B.A.S.S boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities with 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
Final Open of the year is the St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Martin, presented by 7 Reels. Getting into the last half hour of our fishing coverage for you here today. About an hour's time, a little less than an hour's time. Flight number 1 will check in. Wind Creek Park there, the headquarters for this tournament, and commence the weigh-in. The weigh-in will be right here on Bassmaster.com, so write that down. We will learn a lot there.
We've got 3 on Bass Track over 10 pounds. I'll ask the questions, Tommy.
Okay.
How many are going to have 10 pounds or more at the weigh-in, guys?
Huh. I'll go with 11.
I'm gonna wait to see if this is a 5-pounder from Tucker Smith. I don't think it is.
Before you put your
Wait a minute. Now, okay, I get to reload then.
Yours was 11 at 137. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll marked it down.
Plus
That's how he
reload.
does fantasy fishing as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going with 20.
20?
All right.
Okay. I was eyeballing 15 when I posed the question.
20 over 10, is that what we're saying?
Such? 11, 15, or 20?
Between 15 and 20, around 18, maybe 17, 18,
Okay.
17 and a half. That's the over-under.
Okay. I'll write it
Well,
down.
we got 55 guys with fish on Bass Track, 121 out there fishing. And we've only got 3 out of 55. Of course, some could be a little bit low.
Hey, look,
guys who are
I
at
fished
914.
I fished 3 northern events with these guys. I know what's fixing to happen.
Wow, I'm always surprised at the elites when, you see a bunch of 18-pound bags, 17s, and then bam, 20, 20,
No, I've
20,
met
20.
most of the elite guys. I know what they do.
I had like 20 pounds a day at St. Clair and finished 100th. and 15 a day at Leach and finished 60th, and 16 a day at Lacrosse and finished 15th. So 20 at least.
Well, and that's what's crazy is that weight of 15th.
Yeah.
It's a balance you have to do, but that weight at 15th would have been 28th or 30th if people made it back from the locks. Like the weight, like more people caught weight like you, they just didn't make it back either. That's what's crazy. Did you stay in 8?
On the second day.
On the second
First day I went to 7. I went to go to 7 again, and there was a barge getting ready to go in. And I said, we'll go fish for an hour on 8. And I went to my first spot, and I caught 2 3-pounders. I was like, we ain't leaving. We'll just stay here.
Good. Smart decision.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole time I was telling myself, though, oh, you need to go to 7. But looking back on it now, it's a good thing.
There was guys on the other side of the concrete wall saying, man, I should have stayed in 8.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, should have.
Everything happens for a reason. That's always been my motto.
So you ended your season officially with inside the check line and a
it was
good
nice.
finish for the year.
Fished away. I like to fish, you know.
And that
flipping,
was during practice for that event was when we announced the schedule of that one being on the schedule next year. So
absolutely.
yeah. Did you see that during practice and kind of like, well, I'm not just fishing for fish this week too. I can kind of be aware. Yeah.
Kind of thought we might end up at Leech Lake as well, but
I could see something in the future because that community showed out. I heard the weigh-ins were great.
It was a great the where the weigh-in was at was kind of a little weird deal, but it was packed shoulder to shoulder.
I noticed that.
It would be a great place for an elite.
A lot of support.
That's for sure. It was like you were welcome to be there.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's important.
And it was a great time. We stayed for between Leech and Lacrosse. We stayed there the whole time and walleye fished and fished for ring perch and largemouth, smallmouth.
Did Fisher swim down and grab the crawfish off the bottom of Leech, or did he just?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I heard they're littered. I heard there
everywhere. It's just like you could see the bottom crawling around. It was unbelievable. But that was a neat fishery.
We actually tried to have Leech as the college championship back in 2017, but we always did the college weigh-ins for the championship at a university or a school. And so we would have had to trailer the weigh-in down the street to the nearest school. And with DNR, they're clean drain dry up there. You don't cross over bodies of water to get to the next one or whatever with fishing your live well. And so we weren't prohibited, or we were prohibited from going over. So we had to have the championship up in Bemidji where Jacob Fouts won and then won the bracket. And but ever since then, I knew Hank, who was the college director at that time, we got to figure out how to get Leech. We got to figure out how to get Leech. And so it was a great weigh-in setup, and very glad that they showed out.
Mark's hanging in there in the top 10 as it stands right now.
Trying to find something different. He said he had got some good fish from his deeper fish, went up to the bank, caught a fish off the dock, is one of his better fish. Looked like he was trying to stay away from areas he knew of and kind of expand a little bit.
had about a half-hour lull at 12:30 to a little bit after 1 where there's no fish caught.
None at all, huh?
None.
Wow.
Longest drought. It's picked up a little bit, not crazy fast. A couple nice fish coming in.
They look like they're on 2 totally different lakes right now.
Yeah, they do. Did you say early today, Ryan, the water's down a little bit this week?
It's only about 6 inches from full pool. Some anglers told me. I didn't look that up on any kind of charts, but normally it's a little lower at this point because it's already started to come down for winter drawdown.
Yeah.
And that obviously starts well before winter starts. It starts in late summer, early fall, but it looked like there was a lot more water, which they said was somewhat, for them at least, a negative, because maybe it puts that brush a little deeper than they want it. It maybe has too much water on some of the cover. It's, they're right there on the edge of the log. Instead, they could be anywhere on the log,
Some Fothergill hooked up right there. We'll take a look real quick. We got the music playing, which means we might be going to a break. We can hang with Easton Fothergill. We know he's a man that bears watching through the course of this season, that's for sure.
I think it will call by the way he reacted. And
sure acted like it.
Gotta beat 1-4.
It's going in the box. Oh yeah.
That one's going to be an upgrade for Easton Fothergill. He'd like to get an upgrade. Like it. About 2 more pounds before the end of this day would be pretty nice for him.
Let's be surprised. We'll come back from break, Tommy, and see what his weight updates to.
All right, we will do that. That's a promise. We'll do that. More fishing to come. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Don't give up.
More than a simple spy, the Moultrie Edge 2 cell cams are your covert analysts in the field. SD card free, built-in memory. Onboard Moultrie AI for false trigger reduction. Cloud-based AI for detailed tagging and filtering. You don't just get high-resolution photos and videos. You get access to our easy-to-use app, arming you with game plan, weather forecasts, and mapping, so you know when and where to hunt. Don't just capture images. Gather intelligence.
Out here, it takes a certain type. The type who's always the first one out. The type who knows deep down everyone else is just fishing for second. Enter the Apex Series. See more fish. Seize more victories. Settle for nothing less. With unrivaled clarity, it's the top fish finder for the most demanding type of angler. Only from Humminbird.
I'll be your beast of burden. An ally in enemy territory. Overgrown, nasty, unkind. Throw me in and watch me swim. Mother Nature may be tough. I'm tougher. I'll take you where chaos is the cost of entry, where the fish are worth the fight. If you ask me, the bigger the question marks, the better the quest.
Discover the Dakota Lithium DL Plus 135 amp-hour battery. With dual-purpose 135 amp-hour deep cycle capacity and an impressive 1,000 cold cranking amps, this innovative battery is equipped with even heat technology, allowing charging even in temperatures below 32 Fahrenheit, and boasts power gauge Bluetooth connectivity for real-time monitoring. Dakota Lithium, engineered to power your passion from bow to stern.
So we're not all professional anglers. We don't all compete on the biggest stage. But inside us all burns the same fire to be a champion. It's why you get out early, brave the toughest conditions, point the bow toward adventure, and put the hammer down. For whatever trophy or fish or memory you're chasing, count on a Mercury Pro XS outboard, engineered to deliver the speed and reliability you need to power the champion inside you.
Each B.A.S.S boat is a masterpiece, created by the hands of the finest craftsmen in Middle Tennessee. Our team isn't just making boats, they're crafting legacies. B.A.S.S stands for quality, craftsmanship, and performance without compromise. Join us and experience why every journey on a B.A.S.S boat is about more than fishing. B.A.S.S boats, crafted for excellence, built for adventure.
Beautiful coastline, diverse waterways. It's a nature lover's dream. It's some of the best fishing in the country. It's New York State. Discover the possibilities in 7,500 lakes and ponds, 165 species of fish, and thousands of miles of coast to explore. Catch all the adventures waiting for you. Serenity or sport, it's easy to love New York. Plan your world-class fishing getaway at iloveny.com.
Our SV spool design is made with one thing in mind: casting control. Whether it is casting lightweight baits, skipping, pitching, or casting into the wind, the Tatula SV reels virtually eliminate backlashes when set properly. Now with our groundbreaking technology and innovations, backlashes can be a thing of the past.
Every day, we live to serve you. On the farm, our tires work as hard as you do, ensuring a bountiful harvest. We empower your discovery beneath the surface. We stand tall with you to conquer timber. We maximize efficiency in an interconnected world. We help you build the foundation of tomorrow. No matter the job, we know that your success is our success. Because at Maximum Tire, we get the job done.
We're back. Waning hours of fishing time. Day number 1 at the St. Croix Bassmaster Open at Lake Martin, presented by 7 Reels. Well, this is the final week of the year, and a lot of developments on that leaderboard. Look at number 6 there. Matt Adams came into this tied for 9th place. That's the critical spot. The whole story of the Tackle Warehouse EQs is you have to be in the top 9 in points at the end of the year to get your admission to the Bassmaster Elite Series. Well, Matt Adams has moved up the leaderboard, and Bo Browning has moved down. So that is an interesting development there. Those two tied for 9th place as we started this competition.
That now puts, if we're being honest, that puts Evan Kung at risk, because Matt would have passed Evan.
Yes.
Evan would be Bubble Boy.
Yeah.
So now it's not even a Bo versus Matt battle. It would be a Bo versus Evan battle. So we got to keep an eye on those guys.
Evan's got a Bo Browning on the guess the weight, had the highest weight, so his 5 fish for 1-0 each. Could be a little bit more than that.
It could be. It could be. You never know.
He said, "Wow, I didn't get a camera? Wait a second."
I'm going to mess with these guys. I'm going to mess with these guys.
I'm just saying.
Manufacturing that drama, right?
Yeah, that suits the award-winning journalist suits.
I call productivity, right?
But I'd like to find out.
Cody Meyer caught a 212 recently that we missed. He called up a pound. He's within 4 ounces of Dakota Ape Bear in the lead.
Wow.
Depending on how much each of them have fudged.
We would never do that.
Get back in. Do what?
He's gone.
Okay.
Upgrade there for Tucker Smith.
Talked to him. He wasn't so hot about the move over from Hartwell to Lake Martin. He likes Hartwell a lot, and he knew that Martin made him a little bit more nervous that half a pound, 3/4 pound could be 40 places.
Yep.
He says he's glad he's in third place, though. That he had a little leeway, a little bit more cushion than some of the other guys.
And he was glad the field size shrunk, so.
That too.
There's two things,
well, Cody
pro
Myers
and two
said
cons that get to balance out.
He said a lot of guys said, hey, good luck the rest of the year, that they weren't coming north or southeast here for this final event. And he's like, what? And I didn't know how many people had entered, but we had
And then there were
considerably
definitely some
less.
anglers, like I remember Justin Barnes texted me and said, hey, what are we going to do if we can't make it to Hartwell? I'm here doing cleanup at Helene. I'm actually over in Savannah because he lives on Eufaula, Alabama. And so he was over on the other side of Georgia helping in the coast and things. And so there was a lot of people who work-wise or hit near home that they just were going to take this
They're
one
asking
off.
before we even had to move the tournament.
Take a look at our Tackle Warehouse EQ numbers. This is to start this tournament. That was the setup to the start of the day. We will not get an official update on these till after the weigh-in today.
Yeah, after weigh-in today.
After weigh-in today, you'll get the
So we'll have a new
updated
10.
edition. So
I
that's
feel
our
like we'll have the
baseline.
same 10. It'll just be mishmashed around. There'll be some jumps and some.
Sure.
You know, Loberg may pass Wagner. Marks may pass both of them. Eber may be up there as well and close the gap. And all of that factors in payout as well. I believe the top 10 are all paid, and obviously the biggest drop off would be from first to second in terms of, you know, if you're going to finish second, Bill, you might as well win Angler of the Year. You know,
Might as well.
while you're there.
So at some parts of the year, we do real-time updates that are unofficial on Bass Track. We're just not gonna fool with it until after everything's official, after each day.
You can see if you're looking at Bass Track, which is a broken puzzle. Let's just say we've moved to a few houses and some of the pieces didn't make it to each move. We're missing some of them.
Yeah.
You can look over to the right, and of those who have entered weight, you can see their updated EQ rank overall, and like it has Adams in 8th, and Evan Kung is the new 9th place person. He's dropped like we were talking about.
How will our cameras set up for tomorrow as far as?
I think we'll probably do 50-50. We'll probably do 4 maybe of the tournament results and 5 of the races, depending on, you know, if Cody, let's just say Cody Myers, 15 or 20 spots ahead of Easton, that's going to be a race for AOI, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. And
Got several two birds with one stone with Hebert and Meyer being up there 1-2 right now.
Yep.
Fothergill with 812 is exactly 3 pounds back of Cody Myers' weight. So how many guys fit in between them that have no weight right now on Bass Track?
At least
we could have a race. We could have a little bit of a race if.
It's going to be interesting.
Right now it's only 10 spots, but he needs 17 more guys to get in between. Cody Meyer does to make it a race.
There's the aforementioned Evan Kung right there. Oh, he just made a cameo appearance. There he is.
There he is.
Okay.
What do we got going on?
Oh,
look at
wow.
He's holding them up.
So Evan got to see that. That's from his camera. That's. Oh, you don't want to really see that.
Is that a striper?
It looks like a.
It looks like a bass, huh? What? That's no way to treat.
I think it was laying there dead already.
There's a pillow. Yeah. It was one of those pillows.
Oh, it's one of those pillow suits.
No.
Looked pretty stiff when it bounced.
I've been dead for a while.
Pretty sure I wouldn't have picked that up.
No.
You might be dead in a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not too sanitary. Evan Kung, who went straight to the EQs out of college, says he's going to do this as long as he can before he has to get a job.
Hey.
So that's a good plan.
This is the hardest job I've ever had, that's for sure.
Nothing easy about it, but these guys certainly made catching them look, if not easy, at least abundant today.
And we saw some topwater catches. We saw some dock fishing, some brush pile catches, cranking. I think we're going to see a little bit of a mix-up of that as well, especially with the weather.
Had a little of that.
Yeah.
It's been fun. It's been fun to watch, and especially this moment right here.
To think that Cody Meyer could be within a few ounces of Dakota Ebear without having
without that,
a
it's pretty
4-pounder,
strong.
Cody's going to be one to watch for sure. He might try to double up at the end and win AOY and a classic berth.
All 2 pluses for Cody Meyer.
Well, the weigh-in is going to start right here on Bassmaster.com. At the check-in time for the first flight, unofficially get that machine cranked up. It's going to be at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 local time, Central Time, right here on Bassmaster.com. We and our whole group there. Figure out who our top 10 is, and after that, they'll compute the points for you. That'll be available on Bassmaster.com, and then the coverage starts again as it did today at 8 a.m. Eastern Time on FS2, not FS1. Write it down. We'll have 4 hours of coverage for you on FS2 tomorrow morning, with coverage continuing on Bassmaster.com.
Weekday on TV, Tommy. 2 days in a row.
Gotta love that.
Great
We
way to
don't
end
see
the
that
year.
very often. Good stuff, and we will have more for you on tap for tomorrow.